Hello. In our earlier lecture, we studied action of HCl on alcohol. It was SN type of reaction, nucleophilic substitution reaction. Today, we are again going to consider one more example in detail of SN reaction type, nucleophilic substitution type. Today, I have selected preparation of ether, we can say, from preparation of ether using alkyl halide. Alkyl halide, if reacted with sodium alkoxide, the alkyl groups may or may not be same, methyl, ethyl, propyl. Alkyl halide, when reacted with sodium alkoxide, gives ether. This is the reaction. Again, it comes under what we have considered in my earlier lecture, SN type reaction. Let us start considering the details of this reaction. I have already written certain things. Action of alkoxide means sodium alkoxide. Okay. Here I have taken sodium ethoxide. It can be any other alkyl group, sodium ethoxide, methyl group if it were present, or alkyl halide. Now, how sodium alkoxide is formed? That let us focus on that first. How sodium ethoxide or sodium methoxide is formed. Corresponding alcohol, here I have taken ethyl alcohol, reacted with sodium. Since this bond is polar, in presence of sodium, heterolysis of this bond takes place. Although this bond in ethyl alcohol is polar, it is soluble in water because of hydrogen bonding that we have considered earlier, but soluble in water, but does not undergo hydrolysis. But with sodium, very electropositive, has very good tendency to get converted into cations. Metals always have tendency to get converted into cations. Alkali metals are more metallic. So, with sodium, very highly electropositive metal, heterolytic breaking of OH bond takes place. Heterolytic breaking of OH bond will result in this ethoxide ion and H plus ion actually. The H plus ion obtained by heterolytic breaking of ethyl alcohol and sodium, the 11th electron of sodium, sodium is metallic, will react and give elemental hydrogen and Na plus. Such hydrogen atoms will combine to give H2 gas, that is a different thing. So, this is how ethyl alcohol react with sodium to give sodium ethoxide, and the alkoxide means here ethoxide ion will attack alkyl halide. Here I have selected ethyl bromide, bromoethane IUPAC name. So, although it is a reaction of sodium alkoxide, example sodium ethoxide with alkyl halide, this example I have selected as an example to explain SN reaction. Now, if we are familiar with earlier lecture, this will become very easy. Alkoxide ion means here it is ethoxide, is a strong base, it is a strong nucleophile. Why? Because this in this form O minus ion in this form alkoxide ion has very high affinity for electron deficient site, it can be H plus ion or anything else. So, this will attack electron deficient site. Now, let us come back to the reaction. This strong base alkoxide will attack this carbon from the side opposite to where bromine is attached. If in 3-dimensional bromine is attached on this side, alkoxide will attack the alpha carbon from opposite side. Alpha carbon, the carbon to which functional group is attached is alpha carbon. So, this becomes beta carbon. And here in this case, the moment this alkoxide ion with its electron pair, the routine 2 lone pairs are always there, I have not shown. This is the lone pair developed because of heterolytic breaking of OH bond. This electron pair will attack this alpha carbon. The moment this is the what we call as, since it is attack of nucleophile, so this nucleophile will attack. Bromine goes out in the form of Br minus, means again it is a nucleophile. Therefore, this is an example of SN reaction, but the attack of nucleophile and removal of bromine in the form of Br minus take place in one step simultaneously. Formation of new bond and breaking of old bond, earlier bond takes place simultaneously. Therefore, this SN reaction is called as SN2 reaction. Actually, 2 stands for biomolecular, that is a part of kinetics, but that kinetics part I have avoided here. Here I am just focusing on mechanism, different types of reactions and their mechanisms, and kinetics I have kept aside. It can be discussed later on. One step, this comes under what we call as SN2 reaction, and therefore, let me show it. This methyl group, the earlier 2 hydrogen atoms, and the alkoxide, ethoxide, let me use the color, electron pair of oxygen. In short, it is nothing but diethyl ether. So, this is how ether formation from alkyl halide, action of or attack of alkoxide, it follows SN2 reaction mechanism. Now, it is simple for us because such type of reaction we have already considered. Now, I will change the example. Instead of ethyl bromide, if suppose I take some other alkyl halide, suppose that I take isopropyl bromide. Now, this is secondary alkyl halide, then also it will follow. Basic reaction remains the same. Alkoxide will attack the alpha carbon from the opposite side, and we get ether. Okay. Then also the reaction remains SN2, because for SN1, like what we had considered earlier, for SN1 nucleophilic substitution, one nucleophile has entered and bromine goes out in the form of nucleophile has released, it goes out in the form of Br minus ion, therefore, it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now, the second example of alkyl halide, although it is secondary, halogen atom is attached to secondary carbon atom, still it follows SN2 is preferred because polar solvent is not used here. For SN1 it is necessary to break this bond first, heterolysis of this first, then attack of nucleophile. That is not going to take place here. But now I am going to take same reaction, the example of tertiary alkyl halide. Let us see what happens if tertiary alkyl halide is reacted with sodium alkoxide. Action of sodium alkoxide on alkyl halide giving rise to ether, that part is under consideration, and as just now I have told you, I have considered two examples, and alkoxide ion attacks the alpha carbon from the opposite side, and the mechanism comes under what we call as SN2 mechanism, nucleophilic substitution, SN2 reaction mechanism. Now, the same thing, but instead of primary and secondary alkyl halide, here the example which I have taken is tertiary alkyl halide. Halogen is directly attached to tertiary carbon atom. Carbon atom, which is carbon atom, 4 valency. Out of 4, 3 bonds are directly with carbon atoms. Carbon atom which is attached to 3 other carbon atoms directly, tertiary carbon atom. Halogen atom is directly attached to tertiary carbon atom. Therefore, this is an example of tertiary alkyl halide. Now, as what we have considered earlier, from that experience, we expect that this alkoxide ion is a strong base, strong nucleophile. This carbon bromine bond is polar, this is alpha carbon atom, and we expect that this electron pair alkoxide ion specific, to be specific, this is ethoxide ion. We expect that this ethoxide ion should attack this alpha carbon from the side opposite to which bromine is attached, because bromine carries delta negative charge, this carries unit negative charge. So, this cannot attack the carbon from the same side, there will be repulsion between these two, but this carries delta positive charge, and therefore, alkoxide has no option than to attack the carbon from opposite side, like what I have earlier shown. If bromine is attached on this side which carries delta negative charge, the alkoxide negatively charged alkoxide can attack the positively charged carbon from opposite side. But here, although on board it seems to be very easy, here the opposite side attack is not possible, Why? Because of what we call as bulky nature, or sometimes it is called as steric hindrance, because this alkoxide ion has to attack this alpha carbon atom, the carbon to which functional group is attached, and this carbon is bonded with methyl groups, means a carbon atom to which a bromine atom is attached, okay, alpha carbon, and 3 methyl groups means 3 carbon atoms of same size. If they are overlapping with this carbon, alpha carbon, methyl groups, this bromine, methyl groups. Now, the attacking reagent to approach this carbon atom has to push the methyl groups and approach this alpha carbon atom, will require very large energy, and therefore, it is very, very difficult. So, like what we have considered SN2 reaction in our earlier 2 cases, 2 examples, here the attack of alkoxide from opposite side and bond formation and bromine will go out in the form of bromide, SN reaction of that type, SN2 single step formation and breaking simultaneously is not possible because of bulky nature or steric hindrance, means what we in general call as traffic jam. That I tried to show you in this pattern. If this is a representation of alpha carbon and if these represent the 3 methyl groups, then the attack of nucleophile on this carbon interaction of nucleophile with this carbon becomes difficult. So, the attack of nucleophile from this side is not possible because of repulsion, and from this side it is not possible, opposite side is also not possible because of the path is blocked. Then what we expect that SN2 simultaneous attack and braking simultaneous, if it is not possible, then it may take place by what we can say SN1 mechanism. In SN1, carbon bromine bond breaking takes place first. If carbon bromine bond breaking takes place first, it will give rise to general representation, it will give rise to carbonium ion, carbocation. Now, carbonium ion, 3 bond pairs, positive charge, carbonium ion as we have earlier studied, sp2 hybridized in a plane. Then the attack of nucleophile, here it is ethoxide ion, yesterday it was chloride ion, in some other cases it would be OH minus ion. Then the opposite attack of nucleophile should become easy. First is carbon bromine breaking takes place, in the first step it should take place, and then attack of nucleophile. If such type of substitution of nucleophiles take place, then it comes under SN1 reaction mechanism. First step is breaking of carbon bromine, here specific bromine, that is why I am talking carbon bromine, it can be any other, carbon chlorine, carbon iodine. First is breaking, and after the breaking, attack. Then if SN2 is not possible, where the two things takes place simultaneously, attack of the nucleophile and removal of another nucleophile, removal of the group or atom in the form of nucleophile. Because of bulky nature, this is not possible. This is not possible. Then we expect that it should take place by this way. First breaking, heterolysis, giving rise to carbonium ion, and then it should become easy for alkoxide to attack. But in this specific case, first breaking, even this is not possible. Why? Because for heterolysis, first breaking, heterolytic breaking, for heterolysis, the polarity of carbon bromine bond or any other bond for heterolysis, polarity should be high, that is first requirement, and second very important, polar solvent. Highly polar solvent we normally use is water. Since for this reaction we are not using water as solvent, so heterolytic breaking of carbon bromine bond, although it is polar, for a polar bond to get broken heterolytically, presence of polar solvent like water is also a necessary condition. Here we are not using water as solvent, polar solvent, means water is a polar substance. Therefore, SN1 reaction mechanism, first heterolytic breaking and then attack, it is also not possible here. Now, why we do not use water as solvent here, which is a polar solvent? If water were used, then this reaction can take place by SN1 mechanism, by following the path. But if we use water, what will happen for this case? In some other reaction, it is a different picture. Here alkoxide ion is a strong base, it is such a strong base, and here the purpose of using alkoxide ion, example ethoxide, is it is going to attack as nucleophile on alpha carbon of alkyl halide to give ether. But if we use water as solvent, alkoxide ion means in this case ethoxide ion will react with water, it will pull hydrogen in the form of H plus ions, because this is a very strong base. This lone pair, it will pull hydrogen in the form of H plus ions and convert ethoxide into ethyl alcohol, and our desired product ether will not be produced. So, because of bulky nature, the opposite side attack is not possible. Then it was expected that it should take place by SN1 mechanism, first breaking then attack, first heterolytic breaking then attack. Even that is not possible because for first step heterolytic breaking it requires polar solvent. If polar solvent like water is used, it would react with this alkoxide, and alkyl halide tertiary butyl bromide will remain as it is. So, here in this case, if the alkyl halide is tertiary alkyl halide, sodium ethoxide, the example which you have selected, it can be sodium ethoxide, ether formation is not possible. Although ether formation is not possible, some other possibility is there. What is that other possibility? Let me tell you. Since this ethoxide ion which comes from sodium ethoxide, let me remove this. This ethoxide ion is a strong base very high affinity attraction, very high affinity for electron deficient species, very high affinity for H plus ions. This ethoxide ion will attract beta hydrogen atom, since the carbon to which bromine is attached is alpha, minus the effect of bromine polarity, and because of this polarity bromine pulls the electron density of carbon and bromine towards itself. In turn, this electron deficient carbon will pull the electron density towards itself, and therefore this CH bond is slightly polar, means more polar than in case of routine alkanes or hydrocarbons, slightly polar under these conditions. So, alkoxide will pull this hydrogen in the form of H plus ions and will develop the electron pair on oxygen, and hydrogen comes out in the form of H plus ions, sharing, giving rise to alcohol. So, when this hydrogen comes out in the form of H plus ions, the electron pair which remains behind, hydrogen when it comes in the form of H plus ions react with alkoxide, giving ethyl alcohol. This electron pair will get shared between these two carbon atoms, and bromine now it goes out in the form of Br minus ions. This possibility is there. Now, what product we get? So, this is not possibility. This is not a possibility SN2. SN1 is not also a possibility. But the third possibility for tertiary alkyl halide is this beta hydrogen atom is removed in the form of H plus ions by this alkoxide ion, which is a very strong base, and this electron pair sigma gets shared between these two carbon atoms, forming a pi bond, and simultaneously halogen bromine goes out in the form of Br minus. So, let me show the final products. Carbon atom, and the hydrogen which has been removed in the form of H plus ions because of alkoxide ion is shown here, and this is what we get is alkene. This is actually isobutylene in common system or IUPAC, 2-methyl propene. So, if tertiary alkyl halide is used, ether formation is not possible, but because of the high basic nature, very strong nucleophilic nature of alkoxide, here it is ethoxide, beta elimination, since hydrogen from beta carbon is removed, beta elimination takes place, giving rise to alkene. Now, if I wish to prepare ether by using ether in which on one side a bulky group is present, then by using this or these two reagents or these two reactants, it is not possible. Then what? There is a possibility. Let me show it. Tertiary alkyl halide with sodium ethoxide was the example under consideration, and had it reacted in a routine pattern, the pattern which we had considered for primary alkyl halide and secondary alkyl halide, then we would have expected the ether formation. But just now I have told you that since alpha carbon atom is trapped, the path is blocked between 3 methyl groups. So, approach from opposite side is not possible, approach from same side is not possible. So, SN2 one step attack and attack of one nucleophile and removal of bromine in the form of another nucleophile, it is not possible. Even SN1 is not possible, where first breaking then attack, it requires polar solvent like water. Polar solvent like water we can't use for this reaction, therefore, even this is not possible. But instead of that, beta elimination takes place, giving rise to alkene. But still, if I wish to prepare the ether bulky group, then there is different method. Method means what we have to do is that we can use alkoxide as a bulky group. This is tertiary butyl group, tertiary butoxide, and ethyl bromide, alpha carbon atom, carbon bromine bond is polar, delta positive, delta negative, inductive effect, minus I effect of bromine. Okay. Now, this alkoxide, although it is bulky, the negatively charged oxygen of this alkoxide, it has to attack the alpha carbon atom. Now, it will not experience any steric hindrance, because this alpha carbon is easily available, bulky nature, that factor is not here, and the bulky part of this alkoxide has nothing to do with the reaction of this oxygen atom which is attached to tertiary carbon atom, and therefore, if we use this tertiary butoxide and ethyl bromide, example we can change, it can be methyl bromide, it can be some other alkyl halide, then attack of this alkoxide bulky tertiary butoxide from opposite side, and simultaneously bromine goes out by taking this electron pair, means SN2 reaction one step simultaneous will result in will result in alkoxide part, and this oxygen will form bond with this electron pair, will get shared with this carbon, and simultaneously this electron pair will go with bromine in the form of Br minus ion, and therefore what we get is this ether. So, producing this ether by this method, by using these two reagents, it is not possible, but it does not mean that we cannot prepare that. We have to just change the reactants.